me get started. So I've already snipped in this top header part of the of this. Don't worry about the vertical and horizontal axis right now. We're going to look at the ones that are in the x squared form, which is the one you're used to. These are the vertical axis in this case, is the one you're used to. So we'll do number 3 first. So 3 says x squared equals minus 12 y. Okay. Why did I put negative there? That's really odd. Okay. Now, what I would recommend is writing the form right below it. So it's kind of like when you've seen that special form, you want to sort of like match up yours to what's given.
Right.
So yours kind of looks like this, kind of. Okay. So like, how can we make yours look more like it? So let me do that here in blue. If yours was x minus 0 squared, and then y minus 0, it's looking much closer. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
So then there's this 4p business. So you always set 4p equal to minus 12, or the number in front of the other letter, in this case, y. Maybe this was start of the confusion in class.
Right. Yeah, just a bit.
It's like, well, why do you need to know p? Well, you need to know p to find the focus or the directrix, which is what is asked for. Okay, because you're used to only finding the vertex, which is sufficient when you're starting out, but there's more that you can graph with a parabola. So when you solve this for p, you get p equals minus 3. So the best thing to do from here is to actually rewrite this as 4 times minus 3 y minus 0, which looks really odd, but that it matches up better with the standard form. So this middle line is the standard form. Is that okay for now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, kind of like when you're solving triangles, you have h, k, and p that you have to extract. And with triangles, you had to extract the sides and the angles. You need to be able to tell me h, k, and p after you've rewritten this. So we kind of already have it. H is 0. That's right here. K is also 0. And p is minus 3.
Okay.
Okay. Now the reason you do all that is because it gives you the equation sheet tells you what to do once you know those values. And some of this you already know, but let me just snip this in here again. So like it says p greater than 0 means it opens up, p less than 0, then it opens down. Like you already know that, but not in this form. So you have to know that when it's x squared equals minus 12y, because p is minus 3, that it opens down. Okay. You know that the axis of symmetry is x equals h, which is h equals 0. So it's x equals 0. You now can find the vertex. The vertex is h comma k. The focus is h comma k plus p. So, and wait, I should probably be writing some of these. So x equals 0, 0 comma 0. The focus is 0 comma 0 plus negative 3, which is 0 comma negative 3.
Okay.
And then we know it opens down. And the reason we're doing this for me is because when you get to ellipses and hyperbolas, you want to follow this approach of finding these letters and then substituting them into the given equations. It's a little bit too much right now because you already know a bunch about parabolas, but this is kind of the nature of this part of the course. Okay, so we still haven't like done anything in terms of like, well, I guess we have. We found the the vertex. Vertex is 0, 0. The focus is 0, -3. Last one is the directrix. The directrix is y equals k, which is 0, minus p minus a minus 3. It's y equals 3. And then sketch its graph. So like the way I would want you to present your answer is more like this. It's like, okay, the vertex is h comma k, and that's 0, 0. The focus is h comma k plus p, and that's 0, -3. And then the directrix is y equals k minus p, which is y equals 3. And we know that this thing opens down. Like
Right.
you want to summarize your findings.
Right. Okay.
Now, what did you guys do to graph this in class? Did you make a really solid sketch? Did you use Desmos, freehand? What did you guys do?
Um, we we did, I guess, freehand.
Okay. So that's important. Like this is a parabola that opens down. Vertex is at 0, 0. This is freehand.
Okay.
And then 0 -3 is the focus.
Right.
That we just summarized that. Now the directrix, really interesting. It's this horizontal line, y equals 3. And notice it's 3 from the vertex and it's 3 from the focus. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Not drawn to scale, but that is always the case. So the vertex is kind of in between the directrix. Well, that's really bad. Directrix and the focus. That's the vertex there. And it's always, the directrix is always on like this, not the side that it opens up in. The focus is always contained inside the parabola. You can think about like focusing energy. You know, some
Right.
beam comes in and it goes through there, and a beam comes in, like it focuses it on a point. The directrix, though, is on the equidistant on the other side of the vertex.
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
No. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, so you said 9 was next. 9 is a good one because it's very similar to what we just did. It's all about identifying the 3 parameters, the h, k, and the p.
Right.
H, k, and p. It's also important to recognize that since it's x squared, this is how I used to assume, like, okay, it's x squared, so it's either gonna look like that or that. That was my way of remembering it. But you do need these parameters. You do need h, k, and p. This is really x minus 0 squared equals 12 y plus 1, like that. Can you tell me the value of h and k?
H is 0
Okay,
and K is 1.
-1.
-1.
The reason is it's x minus h squared, y minus k, like this, because it takes on the opposite sign of what's inside parentheses. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Great. All right, so the to find p, you actually write just like I did in the previous one. You really just, you're setting these equal to each other. You're really doing 4p equals 12. So p is 3. And that tells you that this thing opens up. because it's positive. But you probably already knew that because if you solve for y, you would get x squared over 12 minus 1, and the number in front of x squared is positive. So like that stuff still applies. Like if you want to reuse some of those rules, they still work. Now, in terms of that formula sheet that I sent you, you have to first know that this is a parabola. Let's snip this in.
Right.
And then you have to know, well, which one is it? Is it the vertical or the horizontal? I don't get too caught up in that. I get caught up in like, which one is the squared? So the vertical is when the x is squared, and
Right.
the horizontal is when the y is squared. And you can see the formulas, some of them are the same, like the vertex is the same. And the focus is kind of the same. It's got P kind of in a different spot. The directrix is X instead of Y. So there is a way to remember this. There is a way to learn these formulas if you really had to. But I would go in there tomorrow and say, hey, I found this really cool, reference sheet. I'd like to use it on the test. I'll take the 5-point deduction. Like it's major to be able to have these formulas at your disposal.
Right.
All right. But this is the vertical axis again. So it's really similar to the last one. So you now have to use those values that you found. You found that H is 0, K is -1, and P is 3. And you start writing your axis of symmetry is X equals 0. Your vertex is, actually, let me start writing these. Vertex is HK, which is 0, -1. And focus is 0, 2, K plus P. And then directrix is Y equals K minus P. So -1, -3, -4, like that.
Okay.
So this one we can graph a little bit better. We can get that vertex in the right spot. 0, -1. The focus is up here at 0, 2. So vertex, focus, you'll see that in physics again. And then this is where it's like, well, I don't know how accurate your teacher wants you to be. You can actually get, accurate as you want. But this distance here, this 3, just happened to be 3 again, is the same distance down that you go for the directrix, y equals -4. This is also 3 for the directrix.
Okay.
Questions on that?
No.
I should have you do like 10 now, just to see if you understand this. Then we obviously have plenty of time, but that I strongly recommend you use this chart I've sent you and print it out and stare at it and have it in class out, really be ahead here. But what I'm looking for here, I'd like H, K, and P, first of all. That's really important. And then I want the axis of symmetry, the vertex, the focus, the directrix. It's really not that different than what we've been doing, but probably worth you working on out here at this point.
Yes, sir. Um. Uh. So H is 0.
Good,
K is 2.
good.
P is -3.
That's right. So if I can snip that formula sheet in again, but if you've got it, just see if you can work through it.
The vertex is 0, 2.
Okay.
Wait, no, I have the sheet. Axis symmetry, x equals h. So the axis symmetry is 0.
It's an equation. It's x equals 0.
X equals 0.
Good.
Focus. The focus is
It's good to write the
yeah.
formula, especially the first times you're doing it, h comma k plus p,
Right.
put the numbers in.
That would be 0, comma 2 plus -3.
That's right. And the result is,
-1.
yeah. Directrix is an equation. It is an equation.
Y equals K minus P.
Okay, so what does that become?
2 minus -3.
Okay,
So it'd be 5.
5. Yeah. Now, that you have all that, and I didn't emphasize this, but does this mean it opens up or down, the -3?
Down.
Down, yeah. So again, that rough sketch, 0, I didn't give myself enough room here. 0, 2, vertex, focus. So I tend to do the vertex and the focus first, because then I know to kind of bound it inside. And then the directrix is last.
Right.
And you'll see, usually that's why I ask if you do it freehand, because usually you just see this without the grid and they just label the points.
Okay.
Questions on that?
No, thank you.
Okay, so I know you said 18. 18's got a completing the square part of it. I guess we should dive right into that. So 18 is very different than the ones we've been doing. One of the main differences is that it's not solved for like y squared. You have to know to complete the square here. So if you haven't done this in a while, oh, actually, I take that back. This one does not require you to complete the square. I wasn't paying attention. It's 8x, so no. So you want to solve for y squared. So y squared is, and this is where it's kind of awkward. It's -8x plus 24. And notice if you look at the standard form here, I'll just write it off to the side here. It's y minus k squared equals 4p x minus h. And this probably looks really awkward, but it's kind of in that form, but notice x has got a 1 in front of it. So you have to factor the -8 out from the x. And so what goes in parentheses here such that when you multiply and you get back to the previous line?
-3.
-3, yeah. Okay. Y squared equals -8 times x minus 3, just like that. And now you're really close. So again, you need h, k, and p. I'll leave you to that on this one.
Oh, that's weird. It's still the same format, right?
Kind
Oh,
of.
wait.
It's y squared instead of x squared.
Okay.
But h always goes with x.
And K
And
always
K,
goes with Y.
yes, because one of the ways I always remember is, well, X comes before Y, H comes before K.
Okay.
There has to be some logic in math, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes that's fair.
Uh, so H would be 3.
Good,
K would be 0.
good.
And then P is -2.
Now, because it's a horizontal axis, that means it either opens left or it opens right.
Right.
And you can see here that they they give you rules. I mean, these don't mean as much when they open left and right as they do up and down, but they say this one opens left.
Why? Oh, because it's going to the. So
Well,
when it's less than 0, it goes to the left.
yeah, and that's down here on that's down here.
Mm,
Now how I remember it is I look at where the focus, remember how when I've been graphing these, I was graphing the vertex first and then the focus. The focus is always included in the vertex. That tells you the direction it opens as well. Because I'm not big on memorizing stuff like this.
mm,
So we're going to see that here. So here's the equations. You've got H, K, and P. I want the axis of symmetry. So that's the first one. The vertex, focus, and then directrix. Give me those points, equations, whatnot here, please.
The axis symmetry is Y equals 0.
Okay, good,
The vertex is 3, 0.
good.
The focus is H plus P comma K. So oh, that's weird. 3 minus 2 comma 0. So 1 minus or 1 comma 0, right?
Good, good.
And the directrix is X equals H minus P. So 1. Yeah, 1.
3 minus minus 2.
Oh, 3 minus minus 2. Oh, so it'd be 5. Yeah.
Yes, yes. There's so much going on. You don't want to, you want to just maybe write out what's seemingly obvious. You will notice specifically with parabolas, you will notice if they're wrong because they all have this sort of like, they look like that, where there's the vertex, the focus, and then the line. So if your line's like going through it, you know that you've done something wrong. Okay, so let's graph this one here. That is not a good graph. Again, I like to start with the vertex and the focus. So the vertex 3, 0, the focus is 1, 0. The focus is always inside the vertex. That's how I meant you figure out that it opens left rather than using that P value. Maybe it's clear to you. Some things just aren't clear to me. So I don't try to remember those things.
Hmm.
Only so much I can handle. And then the directrix X equals 5. And again, it's equidistant, not drawn to scale, but the distance between F and V, the focus and the vertex, is the same as the vertex to the directrix.
Okay. Right. So it's always going to be the same distance no matter what.
Yeah, like this in yellow, the yellow distances are the same, even though they're not to scale. They're supposed to be the same.
Hmm.
There's physical meaning to this, which never gets explained. But these, especially like ellipses, like I'll just share with this. I mean, the Earth around the orbit around the sun is slightly elliptical. It's really close to a circle, but it's slightly elliptical, which helps with our seasons and stuff like that. hyperbolic stuff is critical to like satellite dishes and weather balloons. You follow the news, you know. This stuff matters when you get into the real world.
Right.
But they don't seem to give you much insight into that. All right, so we should do 17 and have you do a lot of it. I'll have you kind of step me through this one here. Okay, so since it's y squared, you can look at your cheat sheet or reference sheet. Is it horizontal or vertical axis because it's y squared?
Horizontal.
Yeah, and I like to denote that as it's going to be one of those. Open left, open right, not really sure. Next, I want you to solve for y squared. Tell me what y squared equals here.
Y squared equals 12x minus 24.
Very good. Okay, we're going to factor out the 12. Okay, I want h, k, and p for this one.
H is 2.
Okay, okay,
K is 0. And then P would be 3.
good. Okay, so I'm going to grab in the equation sheet again. It's axis, energy, vertex, focus, directrix. I'll write it again, but I want you to come up with each of these here. So we got, let me scroll up just a tiny bit here. All right, so we got axis of symmetry, focus, sorry, vertex, not focus, focus, directrix. Okay, so go ahead and just give me the equations whenever you got them, please.
Y equals 0.
Okay,
The vertex is equal to 2 comma 0.
okay,
The focus is 2 plus 3 comma 0, which is 5 comma 0.
okay.
And then the directrix is 2 minus 3, which is -1.
It's an equation though.
X equals -1.
Okay, I want you to make a rough sketch of it and tell me when you're done, and I'll draw one and we can compare.
Okay. Oh, oops.
Take your time. There's no rush here.
Uh, 0. Yeah. It opens to the left, right?
Just go ahead and work it out. Like to take a moment, just like the SAT stuff, you know, I'm going to do it anyway. Just it's good for you to try one and let yourself be vulnerable, so to speak. Like rooting for the Eagles.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, sorry.
Think I got it.
All right, so again, I would graph the vertex and the focus. So vertex is 2, 0. You should label the points. Focus is 5, 0. And the reason I do this again, because the focus is always contained within the vertex. So I know that this opens to the right. And then x equals -1 has to be on the other side. Like it never goes through
Mhm.
the or the parabola. So you've got that's another sort of check there.
I see.
So let's look. I'm looking at 22 next. I'd like to have you try 22. A lot of the same stuff. Just it's kind of already in the right form, but I want you to identify H, K, and P, and then again give me all those all those things I asked for: the axis of symmetry, the vertex, the focus, and the directrix on this one. So, and then some sort of a sketch would be great. So please ask questions. After this, we'll move to a different grouping of questions, but this is kind of the exit question for this one.
Okay. Um, uh, axis of symmetry is right. Okay. Vertex. Okay. Um, um,
Or you can let me know when you're done, and I'll start filling them in here.
okay. I have everything except the directrix and the graph.
Okay, yeah, keep going. We got plenty of time. Unless you want me to check you now.
Uh, no, I think I got it. Yeah, I got it.
All right, so we got 1, 3, and 2 for H, K, and P. How does that look compared to what you have?
Yeah, that looks pretty similar.
So from there, everything builds off of that. So because it's a horizontal axis, because it's y squared, y equals k, which is 3. The vertex is hk, 1 comma 3. The focus is h plus p comma k, which ends up being 3, 3. Directrix is h minus p, which is -1. Does that look good to you?
1, 3, 3, 3. Yeah, yeah.
Great. So like less is more, right? Like if you have, I mean, if I were given a test, I would make a table, and I'd want you as a student to fill this in, because I want to know, like, because if you got this wrong, your graph doesn't matter, like, because your graph's going to reflect the stuff here. So even if you got side work, I would still encourage you to have kind of a nice summary table here for that. So start with the vertex 1, 3. Their focus is at 3, 3. So we know it looks something like that. And then directrix at -1. How does that look?
Yes.
Great. Okay, so with the time we have left, we have a couple options. Do you know if you're going to have to complete the square? Was that mentioned in class?
Now that I know of,
Give me a feel for your teacher. Do you think that'll be a point of emphasis?
no, I do not. He
Okay.
seems pretty chill.
Okay. All right. So let's look at 31. These are the going backwards questions. Okay, and these are way harder, by the way. I mean, not that those aren't hard enough, but they're way harder. So if you have the equation sheet, it's much easier, but this is all they're giving you. They're saying it's got a focus at 0.3, directrix of -3. Give me the equation. And that's, I mean, I feel like there's not much there. If you're really stuck, you should try to at least graph it. Like this is y equals -3 down here. And that means it opens up. And that's important. Because now you know which one it is. We know it's an x minus h squared equals 4p y minus k.
Right.
Now we use the given information. We're going to start with the directrix. Okay. So the directrix, if you look at the one for when it's a vertical axis, the directrix is y equals k minus p, and we know that this equals -3. So guess what this is? It's an equation. And we're probably going to get another one. Okay, so we're going to use the focus to find the other one. Focus is 0.3. Again, if you have the equation sheet, you know that the focus is h and then k plus p. So we have k plus p equals 0. And the green and the blue here make a system of equations.
Right. Okay.
Now it's not a very complicated system. It's almost always the case that you're going to add them together and one of the variables will cancel. Okay, so in this case, 2k, I'm sorry, this was 3. I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. K plus p is 3. So 2k equals 0. So k equals 0 in this problem.
Oh, okay.
H is 0. We just found that out. And it's still the same goal. We're still trying to find h, k, and p, because once we have those, we have enough to write the equation. H is 0, k is 0, p. How do we get p? Well, we go back to the system of equations. And we use one or the other. I'll use the second one. 0 plus p is 3, so p must be 3.
Okay.
Questions on that?
No.
Okay. So now that we have h, k, and p, we feed those back into the standard form. But again, you have to know that it opens up. You have to know it opens up to know it's these equations in this standard form. All right, so it's like this: x minus 0 squared equals 4 times 3, y minus 0, like that. And so you simplify x squared equals 12y.
Okay.
So notice what we did. I made a quick sketch to figure out whether it opened up, down, left, right, you know,
Right. And
whatever.
then you,
And then I knew it was this form.
right.
Then I grabbed the equations for the given information, because if I don't know which form it is, I'll use the wrong equations.
Right.
So let's do another one. Let's do 35.
$35.
Okay, so again,
Oh,
quick sketch. Directrix y equals 7. That means we know it opens away from it.
right.
So we know it opens down.
And the focus is 0, 1. So it's
Yeah, this isn't quite the right graph. It's, it's a little, but the key is, does it open up or down?
right. It opens down in this case.
That's right. That's right. So they call it a vertical axis. I actually don't like that. I would rather it say up to opens up down. Let me put that here. So we know it's this one, but if it were me, if I could write up my own sheet, it would be up down here. So your goal is to find H, K, and P so that you can put those into the equation.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So now to find them, use the given information, like the directrix is y equals 7. You're going to match that up with this. So it's not great because it's an equation, but it's K minus P equals 7.
Right. And then the focus we're given is 0, 1, which we find out that because of that, H is 0
That's right.
and
K plus P is 1.
K plus P is 1, K minus P is 7.
So now you can solve that system for K and P.
So let's use the top equation, right?
Well,
K
you,
equal.
well, you add them together. You add them together vertically.
Oh,
So I know we just did systems, but this one you got to solve the standard way. Just add them together, divide. Right? Because you add them
right.
together and the P's cancel.
Right. Making it okay. And then you divide by 2, so K equals 4.
That's right.
So
Use the equation to find P.
oh, 4 or 7 minus 4 is 3. So P is -3.
That's correct. And once you have those, you just put them back into the equation.
Okay.
Okay, so 36 is just like it. I'd like you to try that one on your own. Ask him questions if you need. Really similar though. Let me grab the formula sheet here. Okay, so go ahead and take a look at that, work on that. Let me know if you have any questions.
Wouldn't it be the no, never mind. Also, focus. Yeah, wouldn't it be the horizontal axis if the directrix is -10?
So y equals -10 is down here.
Right.
And
Oh,
it always moves away from it. I mean, I almost see like a bounce off it, even though they're not touching.
okay. So okay. So
So I'm just looking for H, K, and P.
H is 0.
Okay.
And then K, or the focus is 0, or no, K plus P equals -2,
That's right.
and K minus P equals -10.
Just be careful with your signs.
Oh yeah. Okay. So then add together 2K equals -12 over 2. K equals -6.
Good. Keep
And
going.
then from there we can find out that huh? Okay, or -6 plus p equals -2. Add 6, p equals 4.
Good. Really good. So what you can do from here is write them into the equation. It would be x minus 0 squared equals 4 times 4 times y minus a minus 6, like that. Okay. So we got x squared equals 16y plus 6. Okay.
Okay.
And then last thought, I guess, is if you look at the answer that they give here is x squared minus 16y minus 96 equals 0. They're putting in what's maybe considered a standard form. They're distributing the 16 to both terms and then putting everything on one side. You might want to ask your teacher, what will be accepted.
He said in class that he'll take the first way, that way, the box one.
Yeah, I would stop there. I would never go further than that.
But if we're looking at the book, he also said that it would be kind of wonky like that, and it would just
Yes.
be
Yes. All right. Well, that